It's the start of a new week on the back of a trailer. It's sunny in Manchester. This is EveryTrade Behind the Build, episode 43. That'll do, Dale. Dale, that'll do! Welcome back to EveryTrade Behind the Build, a mid-week edition. And it's another week and another van has been smashed into our beautiful Navara project. So what happened was, Charlotte, our project manager, she's getting a new car, but whilst she's waiting for that to come, she's been using our little Navara here. She was driving on the road, waiting in traffic, minding her own business, when a van hit her full blast. Apparently, the driver said his brakes didn't work and he was trying to beep, but Charlotte didn't hear any beeps. And apparently when I spoke to the owner of the company, that van had only been MOT'd 2 weeks ago, so we're not sure. But luckily for Charlotte, the tow bar has took the brunt of the impact. Not so lucky for the driver of the van, because it's a right mess, as you can see on screen now. But looking at it, it's the bumper has taken quite a bit of the damage. We think it's slightly twisted underneath, the light's cracked, and the alignment on the tailgate isn't quite right either. Now, it's an old van, it's about 17 years old, so I can't see the insurance repairing it. So we've sent them all the images and we think they'll probably write it off, which I'd be a bit gutted about, because yeah, it's old, but it's been great for us. Like, it looks really good and it's been a great tool for towing and moving our plant about. At the moment, Dale's having to move our micro digger on his van and it just hasn't got the same pulling power. So a bit like me, no pulling power. So yeah, it's I'm hoping they don't write off. If they do write off, we might even make them an offer and buy it back and get Dale to do the repairs, which I've done before. But yeah, really annoying. But luckily the driver is okay. Charlotte, we think, has got whiplash. She was in hospital last night, bless her. She was really shaken up, but she's at home resting up. Everyone's okay and that's all right. But yeah, vans, trucks, man, caused me a lot of grief, but here's what it is. It's only metal, isn't it? Let's get cracked on with this week. So I'm in the workshop and it's actually an empty workshop, but not for much longer. It's just at the moment because Dale has emptied it out whilst we've got a few bits going out. One of our machines has gone on hire, one of them's gone to one of our other jobs, and also we've dug this out, which is our large format tile cutter. We use this for cutting porcelain slabs. We don't do loads of landscaping, but when we need to, we do. More on that later. Over on project 849, I'm loving bringing this project to you guys because it shows the real sort of depth of what we do and how I think we excel under pressure. So let's go and take a look and see what's happening over there. So yeah, I'm at the back of our workshop, which you guys are now pretty familiar with, and pretty much in every episode I say we're going to sort it and then we don't. And guess what? We've still not sorted it. It's a good thing and a bad thing. It's good because we're busy, Dale's busy, we're mad busy across the board, so we've not had time to do it. But it's a bad thing because look at things like this, you know, like really good, expensive tools. This is a 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗓 cut-off saw, but it's one of the battery-powered ones. It's just lay there. Oh, it's just going to get damaged and stuff. So we have to make the time to get into this and sort it out, and we will do it. And once it is done, we're going to stay on top of it. I've been meaning to tell you about this. This is a tool that I bought. Basically, this is one that my granddad owned years ago. It's a bandsaw. It's old. I don't know how old it is. And I managed to locate it and buy it back from a guy. And it's got a lot of sentimental value to me, that. So I think it works just fine, and it actually does come in really handy. We used to cut metal with it for fabrication, and now we've got Dale, there's more reason to even do that. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to get Dale to get that going, and also get our conveyor going, which he's actually had a go at. If you look on screen now, Dale's managed to get it moving, which I can't believe. That engine has been seized apparently for about 10-15 years. However, it still needs a lot more TLC before we can put it into use, but that's also on Dale's list. We are mad busy at the moment. We're also mad busy in Liverpool, where we're actually starting another one of our jobs. Now, I want to call this Project Adelaide, but I can't because we've already got a Project Adelaide. However, I'll come up with a title for that for the next one. But yeah, over to my brother in construction, my brother in business, Mr. Alex Riddick.
So we're at a new property today. So as Chris has just explained to you then, this one, the tenants have moved out now, because we bought this last year and we were waiting for them to move out before we could do any work. So we did ask them to leave to one of our other properties that we'd finished, and we had spaces for them. This is basically a 4-bed, and we said we'll move you into a new one, keep the same rent, don't pay any more even though it's a brand new one with ensuite, but they didn't want to leave. And then we obviously tried to persuade them to give them, a couple of vouchers and stuff like that, but they still didn't want to leave. They wanted to stay here. I don't know why, because you'll see in a minute. But that left us in a little bit of a sticky position, because then we're sitting there paying bridging finance on a property that, albeit paying rent, but it's literally just about covering the bridging finance. And then it also slows our pipeline down. And so this has just been parked up, sitting here, waiting to start. And now they have moved out, we are a little bit too busy to start it. So we're going to get all the maintenance bits done, which I've been explaining about. Get all the new tenants moved into the older properties and get the more time sensitive ones done, which is Project Adelaide, finished. Like the likes of Project Albert and that. So the tenants can move in them. And then we'll start it. And this is actually on Adelaide as well. So the other Project Adelaide is only just round the corner, or down the road, let's see, down. And this is another Adelaide one. So we're inside now, and you'll see, like, on the face of it, it looks decent. The property itself, like, this has been a student house now for about 20 years, I think. The person who had it before owned it. He's done a bit of work over the years. He even took the chimneys out, which you'll see. That saved us a few quid, so we haven't got to take them out. He's actually got a garage bracket in already in the loft, which we need to just make better because it's a little bit old and it's not the way we do things. Now we put actual steels in, whereas he's just got like a plate in with like little angled bars, which is not the best. So we're going to take that out and replace it, but it saves having to take the breast out because they're already done for us. But the room itself, like a normal landlord buying this property, like we got it for a decent price, to be fair, off market, but probably just keep it the way it is and run it as a 4-bed. There's no reason why it couldn't rent out. It's got IKEA furniture, which is the same as my first ever HMO, and I've noticed since I've been in here and since I've been over there, there's a couple of bedside tables that aren't the best, and normally we just give these away or throw them away now, but we're going to take them over there and swap them. So it saves again having to get new furniture, and some of the chest of drawers that are in here, we're going to take them over there, which hasn't got them. So that house over there is gaining a bit of furniture. It's also got a telly in here. So one of our properties, through the turnover of tenants, they broke a telly in one of the rooms. So we've got a telly there now, it's 32 inch, that we'll swap out of here, put in that house, saves having to buy one again for there. But yeah, so like little things like that. Also in here as well, the door handles, all the door handles are fairly new. We want to take all them off, take all the hinges off and put them in a box and keep them in storage, because again, on the older properties, sometimes you do snap and get damaged. We've got spare ones then to swap us to like 12-15 quid anyway, a pop to buy. So it saves us buying them and we'll just keep them stored up. But let's go and have a little look around anyway. So it even looks like a classroom with all like the colours and that. Like, I think people, when they do student houses, they try and like think the people are still kids when they're not. Like the students are adults at the end of the day. They've left school, they've gone away from home. They're still, albeit in a classroom environment, doesn't mean you need to live in one. So that to me screams primary school. Don't know why, same with the chairs and that, like proper studenty. Whereas when we build our properties now, we try and make them as if we were living in there ourselves, like modern, like decent bespoke rooms, like hotel style standards. Not like that, not with them curtains, but I mean, it still works. It'll still earn money, this property. There's our little telly we're going to take. It's also got a hetty hoover, which we're going to put in one of the other properties as the hoover's broke. So that's a good little thing about when we buy these houses, especially the existing student ones now. As I say, this is a 4-bed existing, which we're going to make this into a 6-bed all-en-suite. So we're going to take out everything in here, and it'll look like the houses that you've seen, the other Adelaide and the Project Albert. It'll go right back to brick, and then we'll drop all the floors, start again. And as I say, some people might think, why would you do that? That's decent, and it is to an extent, but like, it's like that's old plastering that needs to come off. It's like, it doesn't suit the way we do things. We build these houses so they'll last for 20-25 years at least, because that's mine and Chris's long-term plan for what we're trying to build on the portfolio side. So this one as well, look at that. They even put bars on the doors. You know what I mean? It's like you're in jail. So not only are you still in a classroom environment, they're also locking you in. I think, as I say, a couple of years ago, but before we even started doing student stuff, this landlord had this property here, so he probably had a few bad experiences, and he thought, I'm putting railings on to stop anyone from breaking in, because students sometimes are a bit of a target in Liverpool for robbers and thieves, because they know they have high value assets inside, which like laptops and stuff like that. So they know that out of a day they'll go in, hit it and take the stuff. So I think reading between the lines, something's happened there, but it's even on the windows as well. But yeah, so I'm standing in the kitchen, and again, on the face of it, looks okay, still passable. It still tells students vibes to me with these fridges. Can't even open them. But a couple of things happened on here. So when we took this property on off the existing owner, these new tenants had just moved in. So as I say, this is like 11 months ago now. We had loads of maintenance issues, like we were just inundated with them, and what was killing us is having to come here and fix things and spend money on the building, knowing that we're going to rip it all out. So like, when the stuff was coming into the office, like the boiler kept breaking, hot water was kept not working, so we were sending plumbers, like our overnight plumber that we used, to come. He tried to get it on, then Tom come out, he was trying to get it on, and then in the end we had to take the boiler out and fit it with a new one. So Tom was saying the boiler's knackered, it's at it. Not what you want to hear when you've just bought a house and you want to get the tenants out and you want to rip it out to build into a 6-bed, that you're going to have to spend over £1,000 to try and get a new one. But at the time we just bought another house which had a half decent boiler. It was like the best one that we could get. So Tom went over, took that one off, fitted it on here, albeit we're paying Tom for his time. At least we didn't have to pay for the boiler, and that's seen us through till now. So, you know, little things like that coming on. The same way I'm talking about the hoovers and the tellies. It's good when you've got so much going on and projects at different stages that you can just rob from one house to the other to keep them all moving at once. So it's easier to lean on each other. But as I say, we were spending money, and then we weren't just the boiler, we had problems with lights in the hallway. It's got like these sensor lights, like emergency ones. They kept going, I think they were like 50 odd quid. I was like, you know, keep swapping these here. And we were spending money. The shower broke, I had to buy a new shower. And we were just forever spending money, and it felt like every day there'd be a new problem. And whether the tenants were trying to be a bit hard work or not, or it was just bad luck, I think probably just bad luck. We just had to keep spending money. They would even ask us for a new sofa. I was like, how can we buy you a new sofa? And I was saying to them, you've seen this property before we did. You decided to rent it in its condition that it was in. You've seen everything that you wanted. You've moved in here. We bought it after you moved in. We've inherited this now, and now you're asking us to buy a new sofa for you. There's nothing wrong with the sofa, by the way. It's just, I think they were just being picky in the end, because they could see we were coming in quite quick to fix things. They probably just thought, why can't you fix the sofa? But yeah, as I say, we're nice spending all the money we had to spend, but we are where we are now. And I just felt unlucky again that we're too busy to even start this yet. So we will bring this one to the channel and show you the whole process, but I just thought it'd be good today to bring you around and see it before we even do anything to it, and you can see what it's like prior to even touching it. This is where we do our extension as well, so that will be knocked through, and then that goes through into our extension. The door is in the right place for us, and this one is a little bit wider as well than most of the other ones we've been doing this year. So like the likes of the other Adelaide and Project Albert, it's a little bit wider, this one. So it's going to be a nice house, this already, I can tell. So you'll see, so it's a 4-bed, 1 bed downstairs, 2, 3 and then 4 in the loft. So they've actually done a loft on this. Bathrooms at the back, and most of these houses around here, it's the same layout on this floor. Either you have a bedroom at the back or a bathroom on the existing ones. and they've just kept it in, but you can see the difference in the split levels. So if you were to keep this flooring, that's why it's hard to try and make it work with the ensuite. That's why when on my first house that you've seen, it's got a step in that back bedroom, bed 2, where we had to put the extension, what we thought we had to do. But basically you don't need to do that. You just need to take everything out and start again fresh. But when you look around, it's got decent stuff again. The handles, we're keeping them. Some of the toilets are brand, they're fairly new. Them, the landlord was telling us it's half decent, so we're going to take them, put them in our storage. And if we have any damages that get done over the years on the older properties, we'll just put one of them in. Because I think they're only like 15, 16 months old then. Same for all the toilet roll holes, they're all from IKEA. Again, a couple of quid them to sound. Just put them in a box. And because some of our older properties are fitted with them exact same ones, it'll be easy for us to just replace them with them if they snap. So again, just building up the stores for any damages and stuff like that, because we keep a couple of things like that, even like we keep spare microwaves, we keep a spare stove like hob that we plug in, so if one of them breaks down, rather than the tenants having a bit of downtime where they can't cook, we'll just give them a plug-in one which they can use until we replace it properly. So I'm just having a look outside there. So the roof itself on this one's half decent, but I reckon once we strip it back, it's going to have felt that's not breathable again. I'm going to have to take it all off. The bay needs work. You can see them velexes, they're not staying either, even though they are proper velexes. He's put like a bit of a chain there to stop the tenants from climbing out. There's a few little landlord tricks in here, so not only has he put bog chains on there to stop them from falling out, his little creative method to stop the beds from being moved around, he's built a frame around it. So like, this is where I go to say about putting headboards fixed on the back of the wall, so that the beds has a focal point and a position where it needs to sort of stay, so the tenants don't shift the room around and change the layouts. This landlord has built a little timber frame literally right the way through to lock the bed in, even though it's pulled up there, so that they don't move it. But as I say, every year, if you don't do things like that, you just move the gear around and reposition the room, and then you're forever moving it all around. You have marks in the wrong places. So yeah. But as I say, up here you'll see again difference in the height. Look at that purlin height there. My head, once this job's done, will be around there. That's how low we're going to get down to make more space up here, because as I say, there's only one room up here now. We're going to get 2 with 2 en suites. So most people will probably stand up and think, how? As I say, that's what we do, isn't it? So yeah, so a good little insight there for you to see what a property looks like before we even touch it, and what it looks like when we buy it off a landlord, and a few little tricks that they do themselves. And as I say, most people would probably just buy this and keep it, maybe just decorate it and rent it out again. But it's not our type of property that we want to keep hold of. We want property with no maintenance, we can get the most rent for, and we can give the best product to a tenant moving in with en suites, so they feel like they're living in a hotel. Same sort of level of service and stuff like that. So yeah, so stay tuned on the channel for this. I don't know when we're going to bring it on, but once we die down on the maintenance side and get the other properties finished, we'll start ripping this out, and it'll probably be like a bit of a hospital job for a while, to be honest with you. We'll probably just go on it as and when, because we have got other bits on. So if the lads do come free, we'll just put them in here, start getting the furniture out, get all the wood stuff out and that, and start doing a rip out. I'll just put 1 or 2 lads on each time until we fully hit it, because as I say, there's no time pressure on this. This property now won't be filled until next year, so we've got essentially 12 months to do the work. So there's no point in trying to rush it. I was speaking to someone again today about stuff in about the economy at the moment, the way things are going and how busy people are, and people aren't as busy as they used to be. Obviously pre-COVID and going after COVID, you know, how much work there was, especially in the construction industry. People just aren't spending money still, but stuff like this is perfect for us, because we can be as busy as we want to be. So like when we buy our properties, we can keep buying and buying and buying, and we've got work for as long as we want to have work for. Like we've got a couple of houses already parked up like this, waiting to start, that we can't start yet because tenants have only just moved out, and now we are too busy to even get on site. So it's good for us, it's good for all the lads who work with us, because they know they've got guaranteed work now, which will take them up right the way through until next year and so forth, because there's so much going on. Until we stop buying, or until me and Chris stop buying properties, we'll never run out of work. So without going too deep, I'm going to give you back to Chris now in Manchester, and he'll take it from here.
Wow, the days are flying now. Dale is back now, he's in the workshop and he's actually doing a little bit of TLC on his own van. This van that we did for Dale, it's actually coming to its own. We've been out, rescued so many of our own vehicles, rescued vehicles for other people, sorted out plant. Honestly, I think what I'm going to do long term is get something bigger, something a bit more like a mobile workshop. Again, that's on our long list of things to do. What I tend to do is have long lists and then gradually make them into short lists and just tick off those things, because I feel like if you commit them to a list, they might not always be in the forefront of your mind, but you always do get to them. So let's have a little look at Dale, aka wannabe Matt Armstrong, and let's see what he's up to.
Hi guys, so got my van in today. Well, it's been in since Friday. I've been waiting for parts, but got new discs and pads to go on the front, and I have actually painted the carriers for the front calipers, and I've also painted the calipers and the wheels. So it's had a bit of a makeover. Yeah, it's gonna look really good. Really good job on the paint. So yeah, they look really good, nice and shiny. Yeah, and I've also got this gem in, old but gold. It's got an overheating issue and it needs a general look over. You know, I think a few of the pins are a bit worn, it might need shimming. Just make sure everything's good on it for the customer. It's getting painted black and they're getting their logo done for it. So yeah, it's a nice little digger there. But yeah, got busy week, but I'm gonna crack on, get this out the way, and then I can start on the recovery truck as well. So that's got some fabrication work to do on the back of it, just to bring up the angle of the bed, so we can allow the cars to get on there a lot easier, you know, without bottoming out on the on the angle, because it's a beaver tail recovery truck. So yeah, well, we've got plenty to do. About to get the use out of the new welder as well, which should be nice. Great little thing, does the job. So let's get going.
So I'm looking on the project management system now and I can see that we're well underway at Project Moss on the landscaping. As I said before, we don't do loads of landscaping these days. I used to love it, but the problem I find is that when it's raining, a lot of times we were finding that the guys we had would sit in the van and wait for it not to rain. So it was really hard to make money on, but I actually love doing that heavier stuff because the end payoff is just really good. But yeah, we thought it'd be interesting to show you how that job has progressed, and actually for the first time meet Tim, who's one of our long-standing, one of our best guys. So I'm just going through our list of aggregates. I'm trying to stay on top of it all the time. The thing I've noticed about doing aggregate sales and grab sales is that the pricing is quite dynamic in that it can change quite a lot. So depending where you're buying it from, that price can change. You've either got to adjust your prices or absorb some of it to your clients. So just trying to stay on it all the time, because you need to make sure that you're competitive. On the pricing on our building side of things, it's quite easy because obviously we've got a system where the materials from our merchants updates in real time. If you need any pricing done, by the way, don't forget to get in touch. We have a full-time in-house estimator, Danny, the man that shall not be named because he's too good looking for camera. You can use him if you want to. However, that bit's sorted. We know our labour rates, we keep on top of our overhead, and we know pretty much what we should be charging by the hour. But with the aggregate side, it's hard because it's outside of our control. We are basically a retailer, which is amazing. It's what I want, but it has to change all the time. I'm going to take you back to project 849 because that project's moving at such a pace and there's so much good content, we think anyway. It's actually worth going back twice in the same episode. So back to project 849, where the boys and girls are hard at it. So that job is really flying now. It's amazing what a deadline can do to focus the mind. Those boys there are my trusted, tried and tested soldiers. They have completed loads of that type of tight deadline project before, so I know that we're in safe hands, especially with Bizzle at the wheel. We might get back with Bizzle in Sunday's episode. So that's it. I'm sat on top of my trusty Navara. It feels pretty sad. It feels a bit poetic actually, because you guys saw the birth of this Navara, saw us recover it, rescue it and put it back in service, and now you might have seen the end of it. But we're dealing with the insurance company and we'll see what happens. Come back on Sunday for another jam-packed episode of EveryTrade Behind the Build. Oh, and thank you, we've hit 8,000 subscribers over the week. I'm absolutely amazed by that. It's over 1,000 subscribers a month, which I thought when I first set out on this YouTube journey that if we got 1,000 by the end of the year, I'd be buzzing. But now I've got a taste for it. So when we get to 10,000 subscribers, I've got something special lined up. I think, I've said it before, because I've been trying to sort of trail it a little bit, it's going to be one of the best competitions in the space. And I want to give you subscribers the chance to win something really special. But I can't tell you more until we hit 10,000 subscribers. So if you're not already subscribed and you like what we do, just click the subscribe button. It's absolutely free. Honestly, come back on Sunday. That's it for EveryTrade Behind the Build. Poor little baby.